Hi, I'm Christina Mascari and I am a furniture flipper, and in today's video I'm going to take this farmhouse style hutch and give it a modern makeover with a custom umber color. So if you want to see this makeover, just keep watching. I'm back in my dining room again today. I've already made over the table in this space, and today I'm gonna make over this hutch. Again, this is one of the first pieces I ever did. I really love it, but I've had it since 2014 and I'm just ready for a more modern look in here and less farmhouse. So I'm gonna start by taking everything out of the hutch and moving it out into my workshop. Today's video is sponsored by Dixie Belle Paint Company. Stick around to the end of the video for a chance to win $100 to their website. The top portion of this piece is really dated, so I'm going to be setting that aside and only refinishing the sideboard. Oh, I did it. She is heavy. My marriage is still intact, which is great. I got so sweaty, I had to put my hair up, change into shorts already. When I originally did this piece, I used wax to seal it and dark wax to add some detailing. So I need to get all that off. And today I'm just gonna use a heavy duty sander and kind of sand through this finish and get most of this paint off to give me a clean surface to start with. These decorative doors were really cute for my French country farmhouse look that I was going for, but I want this to be modern, so I'm gonna remove all this detailing. Once I pried that off, there were a bunch of little nails sticking out, so I just took my crescent nail removers and removed all those. And as you can see here, though this looks like wood, it is not. This is all fake. It's laminate and it's got particle board underneath. So I'm removing that excess paint and glue that's on there, and then I'm taking a 2-part epoxy to repair any of the holes and gouges from ripping those plates off, and I'm also going to fill the hardware holes. This dries really quickly, so it was ready to sand in 15 minutes, and I'm just using a medium grit sandpaper to smooth this out. So there's still a lot of parts that have paint on them, so instead of just sanding all that down, I'm going to use some low odor mineral spirits to remove the wax off these painted portions so I can paint right over them. I mixed up some white lightning in a bucket of water, and I'm going to clean all the parts that are not exposed particle board. Now before I can prime this with my water-based primer, I have to seal all this exposed particle board because it's really porous with an oil-based primer or a shellac-based primer. I got it in the spray can so that it would be easy to apply, and I'm not going to have to clean up any brushes or rollers or anything. So just make sure that if you have a porous surface like this, you are sealing it with a oil-based or shellac-based primer. After I primed the doors, I saw that there were some little spots that I missed repair-wise, so I'm just going to grab some white Dixie mud because it matches. It's going to blend in really well, and I'm just going to fill those really shallow holes and sand them back when it's dry. Now that I have all those repairs made and I have everything sealed that was exposed particle board, I'm gonna go in with my slick stick on the pieces that still have the laminate intact. This is gonna help my paint adhere and set a really nice white base for the linen look I'm going for. Slick Stick is an adhesion primer, so it's great for laminate, metal, glass, anything that's really shiny and smooth. It's gonna help the paint stick to that. You put it on, let it dry for 2 to 3 hours, then you're gonna put a second coat on, and then you wanna let it dry overnight so it can really harden and have those good adhesion properties. After the first coat, I decided I wanted to get these doors ready for my new hardware that I've selected. I'm doing a fingerless pull, and so I need this back panel to be recessed so I can add those on there. So I just grabbed a router and routed out the amount of area I needed. And once I did that to all the doors, I added my second coat of a primer, and I'm gonna let this dry overnight. Okay, I have let this dry overnight, so I'm ready to put my color and my faux linen finish on here. I'm gonna be using Silk all-in-one paint so I don't have to seal this. And while they do have some beautiful shades in the Silk line, they don't have this rust umber color I'm going for. So I'm gonna take 3 shades and mix them together to get my custom color. So I have done a lot of testing out here, and this one is gonna be the winner for me. This is 4 parts Mojave, 1 part Fiery Red, and 1 part Anchor. That is looking really close to my Uber Umber inspiration color there. And now I'm gonna add a glazing medium to help me get this textured look that I'm going for. I add about a 1-to-1 ratio of paint to glazing medium. I'm using this glazing medium to recreate this linen faux finish that I did back in spring. Here is a quick look at it if you guys didn't see that one. So once you tape off your section that you're gonna work on, you just wanna get the paint on here. Like, don't worry about it being even at first. You just wanna kinda get it on there, and then you can spread it out and make it even. Having the glaze in here is really gonna help it spread out. Okay, now I got all my paint on. I have a clean rag ready to go, and then I got my brush ready to go. I'm gonna start at one end. Just start making my lines, make them as straight as possible. And then I'm gonna clean my brush off in between every passing I'm doing. And I'm gonna keep doing this until it's dry enough, because do you see how the lines will kind of go back together, because my glazing medium is leveling it out. So you just want to get it at the perfect time where it's kind of wet but it's kind of dry. So I'm just going to keep making these same motions, wiping my paint off until it stops going back together like that. So you just want to move on to another section while your first section dries. And originally my plan was to let this dry and then go back in and do a second coat and put the lines going in a horizontal direction to get the linen look. But the more I did this with this caramely umber color, it started looking like real wood, and I really liked the way that it was looking. So I decided to move forward and just have my pattern go in one direction and give this a faux wood finish. So that's what I did. You know, sometimes projects change halfway through for a happy reason. This was definitely a Bob Ross happy mistake. This paint dries pretty quickly, so I was ready to tape off and protect my other section as I worked my way around the piece. I am using delicate painter's tape, and I'm not like really sticking it on there. I'm just lightly placing it on there to protect any extra paint getting on my section that I've already completed, and it worked really well. And the best part of working with the Silk paint line is that I'm not going to have to top coat this. It has a built-in top coat. If this was a heavily used piece, I might put an additional top coat on it, but since this is going back in the dining room, it is not going to be used and touched a lot. So the protective top coat that is built into the Silk is going to be good enough to protect this piece. And I wanted to show you a little trick slash tip that I came up with to make the doors look like real wood. It was to tape a diagonal section to mimic where those two pieces would come together if they were real wood, and paint that first, let that dry, then tape off the other diagonal and have the wood grain go in a different direction. When you take that off, it looks like a perfect jointed wood door. Once I finished painting the piece, I just took a little artist brush and some leftover paint and just touched up any little white areas where that primer was coming through. And my last step is to attach these fingerless pulls. I've already routed out the section that they need to go in, so I'm just marking where they go, drilling some pilot holes, and then screwing these on. And since the original hinges were painted, I'm just going to use some gold gilding wax and go over these so that they match the new hardware. And that is it. Dining room makeover number 2 is now complete. Just to remind you, here is the farmhouse hutch that I started off with, and here is my brand new sideboard. I love the finish on here. I cannot believe how much this looks like real wood. The pulls and just the finish and removing the hutch off the top just is giving this sideboard major modern sleek vibes. I'm so excited to have this in the dining room and can't wait to finish the rest of it. It's definitely not the look that I had in my head when I started, but I love that I just changed gears because I couldn't be more happy with how this turned out. Thanks for joining me for today's makeover. If you want a chance to win that $100 to Dixie Belle's website, it's really easy. All you need to do is make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Go subscribe to Dixie Belle's channel as well on YouTube. Leave a comment below letting me know if you like the farmhouse style better or my new modern faux wood finish. The last thing you have to do is go sign up for my newsletter because I will notify the winner by email to protect you from all the spam that has been happening on my channel. Want to protect you guys and keep you safe. So all that information is linked down below in the description box. Good luck to the winner. And I'll be back with my entire dining room makeover soon. You guys can go check out the table makeover as well before you leave here. Thanks for being here, you guys, and I will see you next time.